What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good, good. Just eating some cereal.
So, where in the country are you?
I'm in Virginia.
Is that where you're from? Like born and raised?
Yeah, yeah. Out here in Virginia, small town called Elkton. That's where I grew up at.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you were just here in New York, right? I saw some of your videos.
Yeah, yeah. We was out there.
You-
Had a good time. It was my first time out in New York,
Oh,
so
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool.
So you were letting I saw a couple of videos. You're just letting dudes try and hit you, and you were just slipping.
Yeah, yeah. That was the goal. Try and make a miss. I felt like I did all right.
Yeah.
The full video will be coming out soon. Um, But yeah, yeah, that was just trying to make some content out there.
Okay. So when did you start boxing? Like when's the first time you actually walked into a gym?
Uh, so I started like combat sports probably like 5-ish years ago. And I probably only like just been, and that was like MMA. But I've been just boxing now for probably like 3 or 4 years, I think, something like that.
Okay. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 26.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're young. Young, young, young. Good for you. See, that's why I saw you posted a video of you were in the hospital. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened like four years ago?
My bad. Hold up. Might have to hop on soon. One of my friends, fucking cousin, their wife just passed away. That's not good.
Ooh.
Yeah, if I end up hopping off, we'll do this another time.
Okay.
But
No problem.
yeah. What was your question?
I was gonna say I saw you posted a video where you were in the hospital 4 years ago. Like, what happened exactly?
So that was probably like 7, 8 years ago now. I don't even remember the year. It's been so long now. But I had an overdose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was addicted to drugs and shit, and I almost died at like 19.
What drug was it specifically?
Um, well, what I OD'd on was a combination of things, like Xanax, fentanyl,
Okay.
alcohol, just everything all together.
Okay. And then was it one moment after that where you were like, I'm gonna change my life around?
Yeah, probably like a month or two after my overdose, I kept getting high,
Mm-hmm.
and I took some acid, and it kind of flipped the switch for me. And then I've been pretty much sober since. Like, every once in a while, like if it's like some occasion, I can have a drink or something. I've never really liked alcohol, even when I was getting high and shit. It was mainly pills
Right.
and
Right.
stuff like that. So alcohol, I've never been like a fan of it, but I can like go out with like, as if it's like Thanksgiving, if my dad offers me a beer or something, I'll have one, and
Right.
I can control that just because I don't really like the
Right.
way that shit tastes. Um, but yeah, but I've been like sober from the shit that I liked for years now.
Yeah, the alcohol doesn't really trigger you, so you could have a drink here or there. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I get
yeah,
you. Um, so now you pretty much you're involved in the street beef crew, right?
yeah,
And you pretty much just do straight boxing, right?
yeah, yeah. Straight box. Every once, like, I signed up for a jiu-jitsu tournament, but that shit got canceled. I haven't trained any jiu-jitsu, but I mean, I still like enjoy rolling around, doing some kickboxing and shit. Like, but I mainly just box now.
So when you were coming up, high school, even did you get in a lot of fights, like street fights?
Hell no, I had never been in a fight until I had my first uh, MMA fight,
Okay.
and I
Okay.
had never been like, nobody ever really messed with me. Because I wasn't like a small kid, and I was pretty outgoing too. Um, and yeah, but nobody ever really messed with me to the point where they tried to fight me.
Okay.
But yeah, I had never been in a fight until I got into combat sports.
Okay. And are you a student of the boxing? Like, do you follow boxing?
Honestly, lately, I don't watch like any combat sports like at all. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I was following the UFC for a while. I've never really followed boxing like at all. I mean, I could name like some of the top guys that, I say that I'm like a casual boxing fan. Um, and now I'm kind of like casual MMA fan too. I used to know like everybody on the roster, but now I don't really watch that stuff. Like right now, me and my cereal, I'm watching some Incredible, which I guess is like a cartoon anime and shit or something like that. I fuck with these kind of things. This is kind of fighting I like to watch.
Okay, okay. Do you ever plan on fighting professionally, boxing, or amateur, even like official amateur?
I don't really care to. Um, I've had some pro fighters and like pro boxing coaches tell me like, yo, and some of them were even like, yo, we'll train you, get you right for your first one, but I'm not trying to get paid like $1,000 or 2,000 for my first fight. I'd rather just build up my name and my brand and fucking get paid like that and take a fight against somebody else and just kind of skip those steps. I don't really care to go through a traditional boxing, like whether it's amateur or professional career.
I got you. So you want to kind of build up your presence and then be able to step in there with like the Jake Paul kind of level, and when you finally do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so what is like what's the platform for you now in terms of doing that? Like just keep making this kind of content? Is there anything else you're looking to do?
Yeah, I mean, I want to eventually be able to do whatever I want. Right now people want to see me box, which is cool. It's something that I've been working on and I've gotten like okay at, so but the goal is to be able to do whatever I want on my channel and then but yeah, like that's the goal. I want complete freedom.
So how often do you actually fight or box or put out? Is it every day, or how often do you do it?
I train 3 days a week, like, and it's sparring and we do like anywhere from like 16 to 20 rounds 3 days a week
Okay. And is it
of
with the
sparring.
same group of people? Do you go to a gym? How do you do it?
Well, with the street beef guys, yeah, probably like maybe like once or twice a month we'll have a bunch of newer people that come, whether they're new to boxing or from other gyms that come down. Um, but yeah, I just train with the guys 3 days a week.
Yeah, you seem to have kind of a Mayweather defense thing going on. What did he inspire you in your defense, or what did to have your specific defensive
Well,
style?
I think everybody that, well, I don't want to say everybody, but I think a lot of people, see Floyd and see the Philly show and how he dodges everything, and they're like, "Oh fuck, I want to do it." So as far as like me learning and wanting to do the Philly show, I like taught myself and just put myself in positions and just watch clips and try to redo them myself during live sparring sessions. Um, but excuse me, I'd say like with boxing, yeah, he's had some influence in like Canelo, but a lot of the stuff like really, I was like an MMA fan first before even boxing. Like to be honest, I didn't even really like boxing
Oh,
until I hurt myself, and then I injured. I separated my right shoulder, and I only had one hand, which was my left hand, and I couldn't do no jujitsu and shit like that. So I just boxed, and I would box with just my left hand, and I probably did that for like 4 or 5 months,
oh wow.
and and motherfuckers would still be kicking at me and shit. But then I like started to fall in love with boxing after that, because then I realized like, oh shit, I don't have like any hands. Like I can put it all together, but if I just got put in a situation where I only have my hands, shit ain't gonna work out for me very well.
Right.
You know, um, but uh, but yeah, like I would say like once I got into of boxing, I say like Mayweather and Canelo were the ones that I was like, damn, I want to fight like them. But like really, like I said, I fell in love with MMA, and like it was guys like Anderson Silva. That's why people would get mad at me sometimes or think I'm cocky or think I'm an asshole because I'll put my hands down. But it's like that's who I saw, like the GOAT, Anderson Silva, do that. So I don't do it to disrespect my opponents, but I practiced it so much because I enjoy his style that sometimes I just do it without even thinking,
Well,
you know?
it's also a bit of a psychological edge. I don't know because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
fought for
yeah.
years. People, your opponent, when you do that, you get in their head a little, and they start getting So it's to your advantage.
Yeah, and but I'll say Anderson Silva, he was probably like definitely my one of my biggest influences when it came to how I do what I do now.
Right. Yeah, and you had so did you watch the Ngannou versus Tyson Fury exhibition?
Um, I didn't watch it, but I seen the highlights afterwards. I wasn't gonna pay for it.
Yeah. 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 I mean, that it was shocking how well Ngannou did, and even Silva, you were mentioning Silva, he had beaten uh who the hell did he beat? Oh, Jake Paul beat him barely, but he beat Chavez Jr. Do you
Yeah,
remember that?
yeah, and it's like, I mean, that's the thing, like, especially with Silva, the dude's a fucking striker. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, he knows jujitsu and all that shit, but he's a striker, and he's a high level striker. So now, of course, then it's the debate like, oh, well, if you put the boxer into MMA and, whatever, of course, right? I mean, boxers are specialists at boxing. But
Exactly.
if you get like an expert striker, in my opinion, like Silva, you can put him in any striking sport and he's not going to be the worst one on the roster just because of how high level
Right.
these guys is. And I believe the same thing. Like, if you get Tank right now, right, Gervonta, and you fucking put him in MMA. Now, of course, he has to learn more things, but like I feel like he can adapt very quick because he is this very, very high level striker, and a lot of knockouts and knockdowns and anything. Oh, the fight always starts at the feet, and it usually ends with these, right?
Yeah.
But I think Tank, motherfucker like him could do very well going to the other side.
Man, yeah, I guess, but that is a whole different animal when you start throwing with the leg locks and all that other whatever the hell is that they
Yeah,
do.
but
You know what I
like
mean?
and of course, like the grappling and shit like that is there. You add in more tools, right?
Hmm.
But you also, I think people sometimes, and this is all just opinion, right? We'll never know until it happens so many times that we can actually, have the stats. But in my opinion, like Gervonta, right? Like, and the dude's at the top,
Yeah.
right? He's one of the best in the fucking world right now, and there's nobody that can't convince me if he put that work ethic into any other combat sport, whether it be MMA, fucking kickboxing, whatever, that now it's more shit and he probably doesn't know any of it, right? But his IQ is high, like somebody in MMA won't be able to. It's going to be very tough for them to keep up with him if he starts to learn how to defend takedowns, how to gauge the distance on kicks, and none of them are going to have the hands that he has.
But I think the problem is, and you know this, is you have a certain stance when you're fighting. Now that goes out the window when now you have to defend from other things. You're not going to be able to get the right leverage. You're going to have
Yeah.
to make your feet not as wide, and I think it's going to take away from the power of the punches and the speed and everything. No.
Yeah, but you also, we're not just talking about like like grabbing somebody random, right? We're talking about a high level elite athlete, right? Like he's not just some guy. So yeah, I'm not saying within 3 months he'll get it down, but I mean he can figure it out in a year's time, in my
Probably.
opinion, right? Because like with me, and I'm not comparing myself to Gervonta. I am not even close to that guy's level. But like with myself, and to be fair, I did practice MMA for like 2 years when I first started, but I've gone and sparred guys with just my boxing that are throwing kicks, and now I kind of know how to adjust myself when I'm doing that kind of sparring, so my boxing works. But if I can do it and still land some good shots and not always get my ass kicked, I know somebody that is way more elite than me with the hands can definitely pull it off. They
Right.
would just need some time. I think like Gervonta, we would just need like getting a good wrestling coach that knows how to defend takedowns, knows how to get up, and then just a solid like kickboxing, like Muay Thai kind of defense. And then after that, I think he could fuck people up in MMA.
Probably. Have you ever sparred any like well-known fighters?
Probably the most well-known fighter that I've sparred is Joe Elmore. So he was, I believe, the BKFC champion. So the bare knuckle champion here, and I did a video with him. I sparred with him. That shit was pretty fun.